Hello guys, and today I'm going to eat something called a packet of Salt and Lineker flavoured crisps. And you'll notice it looks like the packet has the hexagon shapes of a football. This is meant to look like a football in some way. You'll see Walker's, which is the manufacturer of the crisps. It says limited edition, footy favourites. I'm not a football fan, but I thought I'd get this to show you guys. Here it says UEFA Champions League, and UEFA stands for the Union of European Football Associations. Okay, so it's like the European Union of Football, if you like. Okay. On the back, these are in date. It is the 31st of July 21, and this was to promote the UEFA Champions League, which is now finished, and I believe Chelsea won, okay, this year. Okay, now you might think, what are Lineker flavour crisps? You've heard of Salt, but what is Lineker? Well, they actually tell you the truth here. They say salt and vinegar flavour crisps, but they've called them Salt and Lineker. So you might ask, what exactly is Lineker? Well, not what, but who. Okay, now, we have over here a former footballer who is now a football commentator who works for the BBC called Gary Lineker. Okay, and in, I believe, 1986, I say I believe because I don't follow football that well, and I've researched some of this and I may forget some of the exact facts because I'm just talking straight into the camera, guys. Okay, but I believe in 1986 he took part in the World Cup, and he won the Golden Boot, which means he scored more goals than anybody else at all in that World Cup. Here's was in the past one of our top football players, but that's not really what he's famous for. What he's famous for is the fact that you can be generally a good guy and be a footballer and be successful. I might think, what am I talking about? Well, in a time where you've got lots of bad behaviour on the pitch, where you've got lots of fighting, where you've got people pushing people over, you've got people taking a dive where they pretend to be hit when they're not, and behaving generally badly. He was seen as a striker and scored lots of goals despite never doing anything bad. Now, you might think, well, sure, you would say that. But in his entire playing career, in his entire professional football playing career, even though he went on to play at an international level representing the country, he never received a single red or yellow card during his entire professional playing career. And considering he was one of the top goal scorers, that is an astonishing achievement in terms of good sportsmanship. Okay, so he's generally seen as one of the good guys. So much so that later on, once he, he went on to promote Walker's Crisps, but in complete contrast to his generally nice guy image, he generally tried to play the bad guy that stole people's crisps or something like that in the commercials, okay? In complete contrast to his goody two-shoes good guy image, okay? Recently, he's been criticised by some people for being too woke and standing up for refugees. Many people, and I'll be honest, probably myself included if I'm honest, believe that most Syrian refugees are just freeloading economic migrants who just want a better life in Britain. Sorry, but it's the truth. That's my honest opinion. I think most of them aren't really genuine about being asylum seekers. They just want to live in Britain because they think it'll be better or something. I'm probably wrong. However, Gary has basically campaigned for them in some ways, and a lot of people said to him, well, if you care about refugees from Syria so much, why don't you have one in your own home? Because there are lots of celebrities that have defended refugees but will never have one in their own home. Well, unlike most of the woke celebrities, Gary agreed to do just that. So for several, I can't remember how long it was, but for quite some time, perhaps a few months, I can't remember now, he did actually agree to have a refugee from Syria in his own home. I think later the refugee left. I'm not sure the reasons for this. I can't remember the entire story. But he basically wanted to prove his critics wrong, that he had got the guts to basically put his house where his mouth was, unlike most of the other celebrities that supported refugees, but who hadn't got the guts to actually let these people into their own homes. He was prepared to prove that he was prepared to do what others weren't prepared to do. I'm not sure of all the details of this, as I said. I did remember reading it, but I'm not, you get the idea. He's also been criticised recently for the amount of money he earned by being a sports commentator on the BBC, as I believe as he is one of the highest paid presenters on the BBC. I believe he might even be the highest paid presenter on the BBC. And it's controversial because over here the BBC is funded out of taxation. People who have a television, in simple terms, have to have a TV license. That's not entirely true. There are exemptions, but to make it simple for foreigners who don't understand, if you have a TV and you want to just switch it on and watch whatever's on the TV just by switching the TV on and just hitting the on button and flicking through some channels, if you want to use a TV the way it's normally used, you need a TV license. And it costs I think it's about nearly £160 a year. I think I can't remember the exact amount, but I'm too lazy to research at the moment. But and now a lot of pensioners have to pay this. Okay, and a lot of people are saying, why should pensioners who are struggling, maybe not struggling enough to get pension credit, but struggling nonetheless, be forced to pay for Gary Lineker to lead a luxurious lifestyle when they themselves are struggling to pay for this? And so it can be controversial. Okay, so some people resent him not because of what he's done in his life, although some hate him for being too woke or too pro-refugees or whatever, but they just think he's paid far too much money, and they think if he wants to earn that much money, he should go to a commercial channel rather than the BBC, which is funded mostly out of taxation, under the threat of prison if people don't pay for it. Because over here, if you do not pay the TV license, and you have to, and you have to do so because of the way you watch TV, then you will be given a fine of which can be up to £1,000. And if you refuse to pay that fine or do not pay that fine, you can go to prison. And people have gone to prison for refusing to pay the TV license and subsequently the fine for it. So a lot of people don't like the idea of that people should risk going to prison so that Gary Lineker can be paid a lot of money to present a football programme, when most people think that people would turn on just to watch the football anyway without him talking about it. But anyway, I've told you all about Salt and Lineker flavour crisps, or Salt and Lineker crisps, which is salt and vinegar, and I'm now going to open a packet and eat one. Now I'm going to be totally honest here, right? I actually like salt and vinegar on chips down the chip shop. I do not personally like salt and vinegar flavour crisps that much. So I'm suffering for my art for you guys. I'm going to do something I do not really even like doing. I bought these just to show you. Okay? So now I'm going to open up the pack of 6. Sorry, pack of 5. I said pack of 6 because normally, for these kind of packets, they're normally in packs of 6. But this is a pack of 5 for some reason. They make you pay more than you would normally do, I think. just because it's all to do with football, okay? And this is a limited edition. Inside, again, you see another packet. It says limited edition, Salt and Lineker. So it's just a smaller version of the same packet. And inside here, you will now notice there are the crisps. Now, in America, I believe they call them potato chips. We call them crisps. And this is salt and vinegar. I'm not looking forward to this because I'm really not a fan of it, I'll be honest. Often, it's the first time I think I've ever bought a pack of salt and vinegar flavour crisps which only had salt and vinegar in them. A pack of 6 of them. In the past, I bought them in multi-packs where they've included salt and vinegar. They're the flavour I like least, so I'm really not looking forward to this. Sorry. I find vinegar flavour a bit harsh. It's strange because I like them on chips, but I just don't like them on there. I think perhaps I put too much vinegar in it. I don't know. I will be honest with you. A few years ago, Walkers held a contest in Coles, okay, where they basically said that they would, you could choose between, and continue to make salt and vinegar flavoured crisps, and they also did it for various other flavours as well, and salt or another flavour. And the flavour that it was competing against was some lime flavoured crisps from Australia. Now they basically copied the recipes from Australia under license, I think, or maybe they owned an Australian company that makes crisps. I don't know, but anyway, it was competing against an Australian version, and I really liked this, the Australian lime flavoured crisps, and I was very, very disappointed when I could never have them again, because they said that they were going to be released for a limited period, and whichever sold the most they would continue to make. I was disappointed, although it's unpatriotic. I was disappointed that salt and vinegar won, and the lime flavoured crisps that I really liked lost, and so for that reason they didn't make any more of these special lime flavoured crisps. I was very disappointed, okay? I've got a taste of what it's like to move to another country and back again and not be able to have something that was in another country again without even leaving the country, because I've never been to Australia, okay? So, normally I would eat crisps a lot more quickly than this, but I really don't like this. As I said, I'm suffering for my art, guys. And it shows you on the back some other football themed flavours that they had, okay? And one they've called chicken tackle masala, another sweet chili kicker, another hot shot hot dog, another one steak and ale pie nalty. So these are play on football terms, okay? So tackle, kicker, hot shot, well, like shot, you know, the shot, you know, shooting a football, and penalty are football terms, you know. For example, I talk about being shot on target or whatever, okay? In football means they actually kick the ball into the goal, okay? And they claim it contains no artificial colours, preservatives, and no added MSG. I have absolutely no idea what MSG is, but never mind. And they claim it's suitable for vegetarians, which is hardly surprised considering that it's salt and vinegar flavoured. However, even if you buy things like smoky bacon crisps. Even they are most of the time considered suitable for vegetarians because they don't use in most of them. They do the salty bacon, smoky bacon crisps I've had recently, and they always say made for suitable for vegetarians, and they do not contain pork products in the actual smoky bacon crisps. There are rare exceptions where they have limited editions occasionally, which do feature real pork products as part of a real ingredient. You know, they use real pork as an ingredient in very rare exceptions. But nowadays, for most crisps you will buy, I will use flavours that make things so that even meat flavoured crisps are actually suitable for vegetarians because they do not contain any meat products. Okay, so you notice here it's got the food traffic light system that tells you how good they are for you. And it says each inner pack contains, and when they say an inner pack, they mean something like this. Okay, and it says each pack and by it's implying it's not very good for you regarding fat or salt because they're red, but the sugar is very good for this, and amber means it's between good and bad, and that's 3%, so it tells you and the percentages say how much you should have of that particular type a day. So it's saying, for example, one of these bags, these small bags, there's 11% fat in one of the bags, and there's 7% salt, and that means it's how much of a daily, not how much of the bag consists of that, but how much you should be able to have per day of that. So in theory you should only be able to have 11, if you had 11 packets of crisps, for example, sorry, not even 11, roughly 9, I think, packets of crisps, then my maths is disappearing. So it's amazing. I was very good at maths, but it's just I'm just not fully thinking at the moment. So so if you're not bothered about 1%, 9 packets of crisps will be 99%, i.e. nearly all you could have in a day for the amount of fat you're supposed to have in your body. Okay, so I can't just say that these aren't best for you, but they're you know, they're meant to be a snack. They are what they are. Okay, and Walker's is the most popular brand of crisps over here. You'll notice at the bottom it also says multi-pack bag, not to be sold separately. Okay, and what that means is you can go out and buy these in the shops, single packets, but they're usually a bit bigger. Okay, and they put this on here to try and stop some shops from just buying a packet of 6, ripping it open, and then selling them separately and for a lot more money, because I got this cheaper because you know, the publicity over the Champions League is basically you know, deteriorating. You know, it's over now, and I got this packet for £1, but normally you might expect a pack of 6 like this, but without any of the football, you know, logos on it, for about £1.25 or £1.50. Okay, and some unscrupulous shops in the past probably got packets of 6 because they were cheaper, ripped them open and sold them separately. And in the shop you can pay about 60p for one packet of crisps on its own, right? Just like that, slightly more. Instead of having 25 grams in, I think they have about 35 grams in, but essentially just a little bit more than this on its own costs the equivalent of what would normally be about two of these with a little bit more in would normally be the equivalent cost of one of these, right, in the shop. Okay, ridiculous, but it's the way it is. Okay, because there are some people out and about in the shop and they're just hungry and they just want a packet of crisps there and then. They don't want a pack of 6, they just want one there and then. Okay, and I'll just buy them occasionally. Okay, there you go. Inside, little notice inside, it's got a full wrapping to keep the crisps fresher. These are not the cheapest brand, but they're not ridiculously expensive, but they are the most popular. Okay, Walker's was actually bought out by Lay's of America. Okay, so Walker's is now owned by Lay's, and you may have noticed the wiggly line in America will say Lay's. It says Walker's over here because over here, Walker's is such a famous iconic brand they didn't want to change it over here, okay, when they bought the product out. But you can buy Lay's branded crisps over here. Most people don't bother, I think. Even though they're probably made by Walker's, I haven't checked. So, there you go, guys. I'm not going to bore you anymore. Salt and Lineker crisps, okay? In the description, I'll provide a link to details about Gary Lineker, okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.